Hi, I'm Chad. Just wanted to share a little bit about my approach to prospecting and kind of what I'm all about. I spent my entire career working in outbound prospecting and business development, selling hundreds of different types of enterprise level software, multi-million dollar software solutions and technology solutions. I have an MBA from University of Colorado and spent some time in Colorado and then several years in Seattle, where I worked for an e-commerce platform provider called ATG, who then got acquired by Oracle. About 19 years ago, I actually moved to Slovakia, where my wife is from, and it just sort of became home. I enjoy living in Central Europe. And all this time, I've been either an individual contributor with a software company, or for the past 12 years, I actually had a sales agency where we ran various types of outbound campaigns. The world of outbound prospecting and business development has changed quite a bit in the past couple years. It used to be enough to sort of do the higher volume email campaigns, and you're able to generate a decent flow of leads through kind of a standardized approach with the right message. And a couple years ago, that really kind of fell off a cliff. And we all have to, in this business, you have to kind of readjust your approach. There's new tools, new technologies. The market's always changing. The human psyche is always changing with everything we've been through for the past several years. So over the past several years, I've really had to refocus on what it means, what does successful business development look like in 2024. And what I found is that it really requires a different level of focus. It requires a team effort. You have to really know each other and think together, work together and brainstorm and try different things as a team. So if you have some kind of a sales VP or sales team based in EMEA or US, we'd have to talk several times a week to make sure we're doing the right things. The messaging is on, the approach is on, which accounts are we going after, which type of roles are we going after, of course, but just to put proper focus there and be willing to try new things. The other thing is, it's not sort of a one-size-fits-all approach. You have to do the research, you have to understand the business value proposition, you have to understand who you're reaching out to. And while email is still a necessary channel, I still am seeing, especially in Europe, we get still really nice open rates, usually 30, 40, 50% on an email sequence. But it's not enough to necessarily generate the interest, just these words. I've started doing things with recording videos like this, embed that using Vidyard, put that into an email. That can get you some opens. Obviously, LinkedIn, the Sales Navigator is a necessary channel, although that isn't a silver bullet either. And one of the things that we've recently added to the mix is direct mail. We've got to make use of every channel. So the direct mail account-based marketing sort of gift-giving approach has been very successful as one of the pieces to the puzzle for the high-value accounts. For choose 4 or 5 of the exact right people in that account, send a thoughtful gift as well as your outreach. Of course, cold calling is part of the mix when you have a phone number, when it makes sense, when you're calling at the executive level. Everything has to come together for you to obviously to identify a high value opportunity in any market. Europe is still a little bit easier to get those intro meetings than, let's say, North America, where people are sort of flooded with all this BD activity. At the same time, it really requires the cultural awareness, the right tone, the right approach, different psyche, that obviously in different regions. I've had a lot of success in Europe. I've handled everything throughout the sales cycle, from the messaging to the outreach, to doing the initial qualifying calls, the initial presentation and pitch to generate interest. And I've also obviously closed a bunch of deals. I've worked with 155 different vendors in the past 10 years. But I've scaled that down where I'm not doing 5 or 10 projects at once, only 1 or 2. To give you proper focus. We're a small team. My role is kind of the head of the situation with the messaging and the strategy, and talking with you and talking with the prospects and making sure we're doing the right things. But at the same time, one of the advantages that I offer, that Infobeing offers, is that we do have people to do the sort of repetitive work that needs to be done to achieve the right volume. So there is a mix still of the right focus, the right personalization, being unique, being creative, being authentic, but also achieving a certain volume. It is still a numbers game, so all these things are true. It's become a challenge, but it's something I've been doing for 32 years, and I know how to get you to where you need to go. If your solution is sellable, if you have a value prop that makes sense, if there's a need in the market, let's talk and let's start working together.